Well, let's get the show started. Joining me right now, because I will not be doing this alone. Today, I have an entertainment correspondent. She is live in Los Angeles right now. Alex Jackson joins me today on Arise 360. Great to have you on the show, Alex. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate you for inviting me over to talk entertainment. You know, what I talk about all the time, of course.
Amazing. So let's get the show started with Wendy Williams. Now, her show aired its final episode. Yeah, this was this week. This was after nearly 14 years in this industry. She's been there, she's done that, and now we finally said goodbye, but not in the way that fans really wanted that goodbye to happen. Let's take a look at how they said goodbye to Wendy.
Wow, everybody, this is a big day today. Today is the final episode of The Wendy Williams Show. And I am one of the many guest hosts this season who have had the honor and the privilege to be a part of this iconic show. And on behalf of all of the guest hosts, I want to say thank you so much to all of the loyal Wendy watchers for making this show a success for the last 14 years. And most of all, we have to thank you, Wendy Williams, because, yes, you have to say.
So, Alex, that was it. You know, Sherri Shepherd, who is supposed to start her own show this fall, doing, you know, a little monologue, appreciating Wendy, but Wendy wasn't there. And for me, that was just, it just wasn't a goodbye that was properly said. I feel like for the level of impact Wendy Williams has in this industry, you know, that goodbye could have happened, you know, with some more empathy. Let me put it that way.
I definitely agree with you on that. You know, Wendy Williams is the reason I ever got in the show business era. And I was very disappointed in that because this show has been going on for over 14 years. You know, hate her or love her, she's the reason why a lot of people like me and you ever got in this profession. She's a pioneer in the media industry. So it's very disappointing how they sent Wendy off. And I think a lot of people had a lot to say via social media as well on how they sent Wendy off. And, you know, she made comments on social media about, you know, this is not the end for her. She's coming back in September. It's talks that, you know, different podcast stations are interested in, you know, bringing her on. So I'm just hoping to see what's going to happen next for her. And I hope this is not the end for her.
Here's my worry, Alex. I don't want some type of beef. You know, Wendy is very say it as it is. She's not going to hold back. And my thing is, it's starting to look like there's going to be some vendetta coming out of this. Like, oh, they did me wrong, or they did, you know, they definitely did me bad, you know, all the way back at the Wendy Williams show, and they didn't treat me right. And then there's the Sherri Shepherd angle with her getting her own show this fall. You know, there was this whole, I'll call it like a debacle that happened on Instagram Live, where Wendy spoke on Fat Joe's show about the show and how, you know, she's not bothered about Sherri, and then Sherri responds saying, oh, Wendy isn't so well, you know, just being sarcastic, but also being kind. So do you think we're about to see like a battle of the TV goddesses, daytime TV goddesses?
Honestly, you know, I don't think Sherri was like throwing shade. I think it was like, kill them with kindness type of shade, possibly. But I do think, you know, if Wendy does get her own podcast, she's definitely going to talk about what happened on the Wendy Williams show, the producers, how it ended. She's definitely going to touch on that, and it's probably going to be the highest viewed episode when she comes back, because I definitely, it wouldn't be Wendy if she didn't talk about it, of course. And Sherri, we just got to see what she comes with, because, you know, she was doing good on the Wendy Williams shows with Wendy's fan base, loyal fan base over the past 14 years. So we just have to see what Sherri, you know, brings on her own for her whole new show, and see if she can, you know, handle it.
Exactly, if she can handle it. But I'm sure she can, you know, no pressure. Alex, what did you think about this? You know, I mean, there were people that were actually, it was like a dawn, like a realization of, oh my goodness, they're actually making me work too hard. I should quit. What did you think about the whole response to Beyonce's, single of her seventh solo studio album.
People were taking a little too literal from the song, but I think more so she meant like you shouldn't let them break your soul. If it's stressing you out, let it go. If it's, just move around. That's not even just a job. A job, put the man if he's stressing you out, quit your job, your friend. If it's anything that's gonna stress your soul, let it go. And I think that's more so where she was trying to go with it. I think people was like, you know what, this is a sign. If Beyonce say do it, I'm gonna do it.
But you see, Alex, I felt really bad because remember when Kim Kardashian came out, I was talking about work, and then a lot of people felt offended, like, oh, Kim, how insensitive of you to tell women, to get their, get themselves up and get into the office, do some work, and then everyone came for Kim, and now Beyonce is telling you, no, don't do that. Literally, if you're stressed out, let it go. These are like, obviously you cannot compare Beyonce to Kim because they're two separate people, but it's like they're both strong voices in their own way. And my thinking is, man, fans just need to pick a side, if you ask me. Like, 1 minute you're upset because somebody said you should work, the next minute you're rejoicing because somebody said you should quit.
Honestly, I think just the world is just too sensitive nowadays. It's always something. It's always something that's gonna you're damned if you do, if you're damned if you don't. It's just always gonna be something. You get mad because somebody telling you to work, like you said, and you get mad because somebody telling you to quit your job. So, but like I said, if it's stressing you out, leave the man, leave the friend, leave the job, and just find new things that's gonna feed the soul.
Well, speaking about Beyonce, let's talk about this seventh solo studio album that she's about to release. Listening to Beyonce's music, especially from her last body of work as well, which was connected to The Lion King, The Gift album, it looks a lot like Beyonce is more interested in the art, because fans would say, why isn't she getting those nominations like she used to, for the Grammys, for the MTV VMAs, for the BETs, the nominations aren't coming in as quick. Once upon a time, Beyonce would go to an award show and literally clean out the entire, nomination list. Remember Sasha Fierce? Remember how many awards that album won? But now it looks more like Beyonce is more focused on just the art of creating music than what people would say. Would you agree with that?
I definitely agree. I feel like at this caliber of her career, she can do whatever she wants. The last album, like you said, focused on the soundtrack of Lion King. So I don't think there was more so for people, for entertainment. It was more so for this movie, and that was the main focus. But I think this album will be more so for entertainment and for her fans, and a whole different sound that we're not used to from Beyonce. And, so far so good. A lot of good feedback has came from it. And that also makes me think, Drake, like just the week before that, Drake had the same sound on his album. Everybody on social media was going in a frenzy, saying how they didn't like the album. Drake fell off, and literally a few days later, Beyonce comes out with this sound with house music, and everybody is in love with it. So that just shows how strong her superstardom is. So I think people are loving it, and I think people are gonna love the album as well. It's Beyonce.
Exactly. I think that's just it. It's Beyonce. Well, speaking about Kim Kardashian, Alex, before we take a look at this video, for me, I have to be honest, and I think everyone who watches me on the show would agree that I am just over Kim and Pete. I don't think it's real. I really think it's just a charade to distract us from something. I don't know what just yet, but I feel like it just looks too staged, and plus, he never says anything. For some reason, Kim is the only person that ever speaks out about Pete, but you hardly ever see Pete, going around and dropping subliminals. He does that, but just not as much as Kim. So before we take a look at this video where Kim Kardashian had an interview on the NBC Today show, and she spoke about the Met Gala and Pete, what do you think about that relationship?
Honestly, at the beginning, I was just like you. I thought it was staged. I thought it was fake. I thought it definitely was a diversion from something else. But now I feel like it's genuine. I feel like, it's real now. At first I was like, but I do feel like it's real now. And then honestly, I don't think Pete really says nothing because honestly, before he got with Kim, was he really ever saying anything? We was never checking for Pete. And he never was really verbal. He never really did interviews before her. And of course, we're going to naturally see Kim talking about it because she's in the media. She does press. You know, she's always been in the press doing interviews talking about her life and stuff like that. And this is just something else to add. And then, you know, they have the show. So of course we're gonna see that, and then she's entering a whole new stage of her life with the divorce and everything like that. So honestly, I do feel like it's real, but like you said at the beginning, I definitely had my side eye on that folks.
Oh, well, let's take a look at that epic interview that happened earlier this week where Kim Kardashian gave us some expose on her relationship, the Met Gala scandal, and what else is going on in her life right now.
What I love about your relationship with him is you pursued him. You asked for his number.
That's so not me.
That's so not you.
It's so not me.
What is the first text you send to him? Like, hey, it's Kim. We met backstage at SNL.
Yeah, it was just, well, he gave me advice. I ran into him a little bit before at the Met, and he gave me good advice, knowing I was going to be on it. Yeah, well, luckily I have a sister that has been through it all, and we talked about it, and I consulted with a few therapists and friends that have been through it. So I definitely wanted to wait 6 months, and that was like the marker. And I think it's different for everyone, and different things work for different people, but you just have to do what feels right and try to just be as respectful and cautious and as possible.
Yeah. Did this relationship take you by surprise? Did you really
It did.
think that, oh, I might actually have a boyfriend?
Yeah, well, I waited a while.
Yeah.
I waited like a good 10 months before I was ready to open myself up. And I think you definitely need that time to yourself. And then once you're ready to get out there, I felt like I just wanted new energy and something different. And it definitely took me by surprise.
How is all of that going?
You know, it's going good. We had,
Okay, so before we wrap things up, taking a look at this week around the world, Alex, the BET Awards happening this weekend. Some people are not very happy with the nominees. You know, Lil Nas X had a lot of things to say about not being nominated, but there are also so many people who are super excited to be nominated. Sean Diddy Combs is going to be getting the Lifetime Achievement Awards. We're also looking at Lizzo, Giveon, Roddy Ricch, Chance the Rapper, Kirk Franklin performing, and then the nominees. Nigeria is big on that list, from Tems getting Best New Artist noms to Wizkid and Tems on their best collaboration with Essence. So it looks like it's going to be a very integrated show, and I think everybody is going to have equal place here, whether you're from Africa or the United States.
No, I totally agree. Definitely excited about the performances. I'm hoping they do a tribute for P. Diddy for the Lifetime Achievement Awards, because I feel like whoever they pick is going to be epic. And of course, I'm pretty sure they're going to pick his son. And I feel like Diddy's going to go up there and give us a show. So I'm definitely excited. And, you know, I don't know if you saw the news today how, you know, like he brought up Lil Nas X, him and NBA Youngboy, they collabed on a new song together, and they were still shading the BET Awards for him not being nominated. I actually was the collab that I didn't know I needed. So they're still shading the BET Awards, so I can say he's still upset. But, you know, other than that, I feel like it's going to be a good show. So I'm excited to see Sunday. And right now, all the visitors are coming in town in LA for the awards this Sunday. So it's going to be a hectic week. But I'm excited to see who all here, and I'm excited to see the performances.
Absolutely, Alex. Well, at this point, I've got to say thank you so much for joining me on Arise 360 today. I do hope we get to do this sometime soon. This is absolutely interesting.